Welcome to Divine Manipulations, the Nexus of Religion and Politics, a three-part series of an audiovisual book that delves deep into the intricate dance between faith and governance throughout history. In this series, we explore how religion and politics have intersected, collided, and coexisted, from the genesis of control to the weaponization of belief. Join us on a journey through time and across civilizations to uncover the manipulation, the struggle for power, and the division that have characterized this complex relationship. So fasten your seatbelts and prepare to uncover the secrets, the conflicts, and the lasting impact of divine manipulations. In the intricate tapestry of human history, the interplay between religion and politics has been a constant source of intrigue, controversy, and power dynamics. Divine manipulations, the nexus of religion and politics, delves deep into this complex relationship, seeking to uncover the truth behind the manipulation of the masses through the cunning intertwining of these two powerful forces. For centuries, religion has served as a source of solace, guidance, and unity for countless individuals. Simultaneously, politics has been the mechanism through which societies navigate governance, justice, and societal order. However, as this book will reveal, the boundaries separating these two spheres have often blurred, creating an intricate dance of influence, control, and, at times, chaos. This book embarks on a journey through time, analyzing historical events, political movements, and religious shifts to shed light on the ways in which religion has been harnessed as a tool for political gain. By peeling back the layers of this intricate web, we'll explore the methods employed by politicians and religious leaders to manipulate, divide, and conquer the minds and hearts of the masses. Chapter 1. The Genesis of Control. In the annals of history, the alliance between religion and politics dates back to the earliest civilizations. From the fertile banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in ancient Mesopotamia to the Nile's mystic flow in Egypt, leaders of these early societies recognized the potent symbiosis of divine endorsement and political power. The marriage between faith and governance, a union that would come to shape the course of human civilization, began to take root. At the heart of this connection lay the concept of divine mandate. Rulers, pharaohs, and kings understood that by portraying themselves as chosen representatives of the gods, they could legitimize their authority and, in turn, exert greater control over their subjects. The belief in the divine origin of kingship not only solidified the ruler's position, but also bound their subjects in an unbreakable web of faith, loyalty, and obedience. In the cradle of Mesopotamia, the Code of Ur-Nammu, one of the earliest known legal codes, carved an enduring testament to the mingling of religion and politics. This code proclaimed the divine will as the ultimate source of justice, with laws framed as commands from the gods themselves. It reinforced the idea that obedience to the ruler was akin to obedience to the gods, cementing the monarch's authority and creating a theocratic underpinning for the state. The pharaohs of Egypt, considered divine themselves, wielded immeasurable power by presenting themselves as the living gods. The divine link between the pharaoh and the pantheon of Egyptian deities allowed them to exert control over the lives and destinies of their subjects, creating a society that revolved around faith in the divine ruler. As the tapestry of time weaves forward, the influence of religion and politics deepens. Empires rise and fall, their leaders invoking divine providence to justify territorial conquests and consolidations of power. In India, rulers justified their reign through the concept of dharma, a moral and cosmic order sanctioned by the gods. In the ancient world, the Roman Empire saw emperors proclaimed as deities, and their reigns legitimized by their divine connection. The story of the genesis of control reveals an inherent human desire for order and authority, often achieved by invoking divine blessing. From the early days of civilization to the height of the Roman Empire, rulers harnessed the power of faith to control their subjects and legitimize their rule. But as we journey through the pages of this book, we'll discover that this age-old connection between religion and politics has evolved and adapted to shape the world we know today, with both constructive and destructive consequences. Chapter 2. The Tapestry of Manipulation. In the evolution of the relationship between religion and politics, the intricate tapestry of manipulation began to take shape, reflecting the subtle art of controlling minds, hearts, and societies. This chapter explores how the fusion of religious authority and political power became a canvas on which cunning leaders wove their designs to secure their rule and influence the masses. As societies expanded and diversified, so did the methods of manipulation. It was no longer sufficient for leaders to claim divine mandate or right. They had to innovate their strategies to maintain control. The playbook of manipulation included a range of techniques, from creating cults of personality to orchestrating religious ceremonies for political spectacle. The Roman Empire, with its vast expanse, was a prime example of this. Emperors like Augustus and Constantine sought to connect with their subjects on a spiritual level. They engaged in elaborate religious ceremonies, associating themselves with gods and using their image as symbols of divine unity and stability. These actions were not merely acts of devotion, but astute manipulations to solidify their authority in the eyes of the people. Moreover, religious festivals and rituals became vehicles for political messages. Emperors skillfully exploited the enthusiasm and unity that religious festivals generated to reinforce their political reigns. These events were not only religious but also political spectacles, an artful blend of worship and manipulation. The Tapestry of Manipulation also delves into the inception of religious hierarchies. Rulers realized that by controlling the appointment of religious leaders, they could sway the minds of their subjects. The elevation of compliant and loyal clergy allowed for religious institutions to become tools of political agendas. Popes, priests, and religious councils found themselves entangled in the political intrigues of the day, further enhancing the power of rulers. However, the manipulation didn't stop at religious ceremonies or hierarchies. It extended to the creation of holy relics and the veneration of sacred sites. Leaders invested time and resources in constructing religious artifacts and claiming relics, further solidifying their divine connection. Pilgrimages to these sites became a potent tool in controlling the masses, attracting devotees from distant lands and emphasizing the ruler's divine favor. The chapter also touches upon the role of propaganda in manipulating the religious political narrative. From epic poems to religious texts, the power of the written word was harnessed to shape perceptions and control the collective consciousness. Monarchs, rulers, and politicians commissioned writings that extolled their virtues, cementing their place as divine rulers in the minds of the people. As we continue to unravel the layers of manipulation in the relationship between religion and politics, it becomes increasingly evident that this fusion has not only served as a source of power, but also as a potent tool for societal control. It is a story of strategic maneuvering, where faith became the means through which leaders shaped the destinies of nations. Chapter 3. The Religious Political Power Struggle. The relationship between religion and politics is in many ways a power struggle that unfolds on a grand scale. In this chapter, we delve into the intricacies of this dynamic, where religious leaders and political authorities vie for supremacy and control over the hearts and minds of their subjects. Throughout history, religious leaders have been a potent force, their influence often rivaling that of secular rulers. The power struggle between religious and political authorities has been a central theme in the narrative of many civilizations. One of the most vivid examples of this power struggle lies in the European Middle Ages. The Catholic Church, with its spiritual authority, wielded immense power, influencing not only matters of faith, but also matters of state. The papacy, as the highest religious authority, often found itself at odds with kings and emperors over matters of jurisdiction and influence. This battle for dominance created a complex web of alliances and conflicts, with the Church excommunicating rulers and rulers in turn attempting to curtail the Church's power. The struggle for dominance was not limited to the medieval West. In the Islamic world, the caliphs and religious leaders engaged in their own power struggles. The Sunni-Shia split is a prime example of the contest for religious authority, which has had profound political ramifications throughout Islamic history. However, this power struggle wasn't solely based on opposition. At times, it involved collaboration and coexistence. In some instances, political leaders sought the endorsement and legitimacy that religious leaders could provide, leading to alliances that benefited both parties. In return for support, political authorities often granted religious leaders significant influence over religious and societal matters. The power struggle also extended to the interpretation of religious texts and dogma. Religious leaders, theologians, and scholars sought to shape religious doctrines to align with their political objectives. Theology was, at times, manipulated to legitimize political actions, whether it was justifying conquests, subjugating populations, or consolidating power. The religious political power struggle is a dynamic that continues to shape the world today. As we navigate through history, we will explore how this tension between religious and political authorities has contributed to the rise and fall of empires, the formation of new ideologies, and the constant evolution of the relationship between faith and governance. Chapter 4. The Weaponization of Belief. In the intricate interplay between religion and politics, the weaponization of belief stands as a pivotal chapter. Throughout history, leaders have recognized the power of faith as a weapon, using it to advance their political aims and conquer the minds of the masses. Belief has always been a formidable force, capable of inspiring people to great heights of devotion and sacrifice. Leaders understood that by skillfully manipulating belief systems, they could turn this fervor into a potent weapon. One of the most powerful tools in the arsenal of belief was the concept of holy war, or jihad. Across different cultures and religions, leaders utilized the notion of a divine mandate to wage wars of conquest. From the Crusades in medieval Europe to the spread of Islam in the early Islamic expansion, faith was wielded as a rallying cry to justify territorial expansion and assert dominance. Moreover, religious texts and narratives were often selectively interpreted and emphasized to advance political agendas. Religious leaders and rulers would use scripture to justify actions that may not align with the original teachings, convincing their subjects that these actions were, in fact, divinely ordained. This manipulation of sacred texts allowed for the legitimization of a wide range of political actions, from conquests to colonization. The chapter also delves into the Inquisition, a dark period where belief was weaponized for political purposes. Rulers and religious authorities sought to eliminate perceived heresy and opposition by wielding the threat of religious persecution. Fear of the Inquisition led to the suppression of dissent and the consolidation of power. The manipulation of belief extended beyond wars and inquisitions. Leaders recognized the potential of religious prejudice as a tool for societal division. By fomenting religious tensions and conflicts, they could divert the attention of the masses away from their political actions. Creating an us versus them mentality based on religious differences allowed leaders to maintain control over a fractured society. The weaponization of belief has often been a double-edged sword with far-reaching consequences. While it allowed leaders to exert control, it also sowed the seeds of conflict and discord, leading to long-lasting animosities and divisions within societies. As we continue to explore the intricate relationship between religion and politics, this chapter reveals the darker side of belief, where faith became a weapon in the hands of those who sought to manipulate, control, and conquer. Chapter 5. Dividing Faith for Political Gains. Throughout history, the weaponization of belief often took the form of dividing faith for political gains. Leaders recognized that by exploiting religious differences, they could manipulate the masses and maintain control over a fractured society. Divide and conquer is a strategy that has been employed by political leaders across diverse civilizations. One of the most prominent examples of this manipulation is the British colonial rule in India. The British Raj skillfully used religious divisions, particularly between Hindus and Muslims, to maintain control. They implemented policies that favored one group over the other, fostering animosity and suspicion, ultimately leading to the partition of India in 1947. In Europe, the Reformation era witnessed religious divisions that were masterfully exploited by political leaders. The schism between the Catholic Church and the Protestant movement led to violent conflicts, such as the 30 Years' War. Rulers played a role in these conflicts, aligning themselves with one religious group or another to gain political leverage. In more recent history, the manipulation of religious divisions for political gains can be seen in conflicts in the Middle East. Various nations in the region have leveraged sectarian differences to advance their political interests. This strategy has often led to protracted conflicts where religious identities are used as a means of control and division. Dividing faith for political gains not only creates social strife, but also allows leaders to deflect attention away from their actions. By fueling religious tensions, political authorities can avoid scrutiny and maintain their grip on power. This chapter delves into the complexities of this manipulation, shedding light on the mechanisms used to create and exploit religious divides. It also underscores the lasting consequences of these divisions, which continue to influence political landscapes and societal dynamics. As we explore the historical and contemporary examples of faith being divided for political purposes, we gain a deeper understanding of how this manipulation tactic has shaped the world and continues to affect societies to this day. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Divine Manipulations, the Nexus of Religion and Politics. We hope you found this exploration of the intricate relationship between faith and governance enlightening. From the genesis of control to the weaponization of belief, we've uncovered the manipulations, the power struggles, and the divisions that have shaped history. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss the next installment of our 3-part series. Remember, the story doesn't end here. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore even more fascinating aspects of the nexus between religion and politics. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep questioning the world around you. This is Divine Manipulations signing off.